So now I would like to invite the Director of Plastics Europe, Mediterranean region, Mr. Giuseppe Riva. He will tell something that is essential for everybody, because yesterday we had our meeting we are members of the advisory board of Plastics Europe, and Greece is in. So now you have to repeat again for the minister and everybody what we said yesterday. So,
good afternoon. I would like to make my compliments to the association, to its president and to Elias for the success of this event, of this day. I would like to start with something that my colleague Antonello Ciotti would have said, and is something that could be the basis also for some consideration during our discussion. The fact that Antonello Ciotti would have presented to you is the result of a study, of an experiment we did in the Po Valley. Po Valley in Italy is gathering through the Po River, all the rivers of the North Italy, and that they are serving approximately 40%, 25 million of inhabitants of Italy. So we put with a company, we put some barrier, and we collect the plastic which arrive to the sea, to the Adriatic Sea. And we made this collection for 3 months. Can you guess how much plastic was in? Elias responded yesterday and he says some tons. No. In 3 months, the Po River, collecting the water of 25 million of inhabitants, of Italian inhabitants, very high population, and the Italians are not so, how to say, so careful sometimes. 50 kilos, 50 kilos, certificated for 3 months, the Po River. So this could, we have not had the time yet to analyze not the data is there, but what means. The river, you know, is the main sources in Asia, we have seen this morning, in Africa. They are the major sources of the marine littering. The first consideration is we can do something. We can stop the marine littering if our behavior will be of a certain kind. But this is just the premises of, and just also to honor Antonello, who was here this morning. One of the things he certainly would have presented to you. But we start with the presentation we prepared. Very simple. Some few slides on the EU strategy, you know, probably. What we are starting to do as an industry, we are the Raw Material Association, but we are acting with all the filière, and some of very simple solutions. So the strategy is quite clear. The 4 pillars of the strategy: improve the quality of recycling. We have seen the economics sometimes of recycling is forgot. No? We have not in mind the real cycle by an economical point of view of recycling. Of course, we have to reduce the littering. We have to drive investment and innovation. This is essential. Connect.
Modern technology. Wait a minute. We don't need this.
Okay, sorry. And second, the problem of plastic is a global problem. Some data. Of course, we have approximately 27 million of plastic waste. Less than 30% is collected for recycling, and landfilling and incineration has the biggest stakes. And as some people already said this morning, only 6% of plastics is recycled. And these are the main objectives. Also here is just to give you some, ideas for some consideration. We have that all plastic packaging have to be reusable or recycled in 2030. More than half of plastics has to be recycled in 2030. Sorting and recycling capacity has to be multiplied for 4 times. But last but not least, we have to find a market of more than 10 million tons of recycled plastics. And if you look at this diagram, it's quite clear. We have the consumption. This is the famous 6% nowadays recycled, and we would have to recycle additional 11 million tons of material. Just to give you an idea, this, just to use, not a strong word, is a very ambitious goal. And if you look at the trend, unfortunately, Alexander is not here anymore, he could confirm, the trend of the recycled material used in the market is not so big to give us the hope to reach these 11 million tons. So we... Yes, this is now is 6%. We have to reach 50%, and so we have to have more 11%. And of course, this is what apparently is recycled today, but this is the extra U. And China stopped it and so on. This is the major problem. Find the market. Is one of the major problems. No? Find the market. And this will not be easy, because the trend of the market, because of the characteristic, because of the food we have seen in one of the slides presented today, there is a lot of constraint regarding the food. So where to put all this material if we have the legislation for food and so on? And I don't want to enter in this kind of problems, but this will be the problem we have to solve in the next years. So what we are doing as an association, the premises is, the introduction is that we are starting to work on this problem. Yesterday, the president of the Turkish Association at our MAB said we have to avoid the plastic is compared with bad things. Plastic is not bad. We have to avoid this. So, what the pillar of our action are preventage leakage of plastics, increase, of course, we fully agree, reuse and recycling, and the resource efficiency. Okay, this is quite clear. 100% of the companies are trying to reduce to zero the loss of plastics during the work, and this will be adopted by all the chain, logistic, production, and so on. We have to identify suitable solutions to reduce littering. And then, last but not least, educational programs. And of course, as also Alexander underlined, we are acting through the four big polymers family, polyolefins, styrenics, PVC, in order to be more efficient in our action. Of course, the resource efficiency is very important. Alternative feedstock, life cycle, waste data, I don't want to enter. But we have a lot of confusion, even regarding the data. Somebody is measuring at the entrance of the recycling plant, somebody else at the exit, and so on. Eco-design, and of course, we need standard. We need certification. This is, of course, at the global action we are trying to do. We have seen the major part of the marine littering coming outside Europe. Europe count for 3-4%, not more, for their littering. The example of Po Valley is quite clear. And we are some activities at the global level in order to, to help the other continents to prevent the marine littering. But this is not only something that we can do. And this is the cycle today of the plastics. Consumer, separate collection is important. Consumer, separate collection, energy or chemical recovery, sorting center, recycling, and then going again to the recycling. This is the cycle. And of course, we agree, we have also said very clearly, mechanical recycling is the best option. But, and this is very important, we have to take in account the economics, the energy consumption, and last but not least, what means by point of view environmental impact. We have to be very cautious in order not to create a greater environmental impact just to do recycling. Second, we think, this is our idea, that energy recovery in this moment is not replaceable. We have a lot of material which is collected and which cannot be mechanical recycled. In Italy, we have around 50% of the packaging we collect, and our collection is growing fast, I would say, but only half is going to recycle. The other half is not possible to recycle. After the collection, we collect everything, all packaging. We have the most wide scheme of collecting packaging. We consider, for example, also the plates for the event and so on. We consider them packaging. The reason is quite simple. We have to open the scheme because we receive the money to the producer. We means the consortium. The consortium is practically not private, but is the consortium of the producer. We have a minister representative in the consortium, just to be sure that everything is clear. He is sitting in the board. I'm sitting in the board. Antonello is sitting on the board, is the president. And we collect money, we as producer, and we manage the money. And we give the money to the municipalities. This is very important. Municipalities are responsible to collect. Otherwise, they don't receive the money. Then we take this waste, when we pay the municipality, the waste is ours. It is of the producer, it is of the consortium. We are responsible to reach the percentage of the objective. So the waste is ours. We give the waste to the sorting, and then we put on the market, and we receive the money, the sorted material which will be recycled. And only 55% in this moment is sold. Is sold.
There is a possibility of market, whatever.
Where's the market?
With zero price.
Even with zero price, because we use an auction. We have not the client coming and say, no. We have an auction every month. We say we have, 100 tons and so on, and electronically arrive the offers, and we sell our waste. Waste is a secondary material. And as has been mentioned in the previous presentation, a lot of hopes to increase the circularity is given to the pyrolysis or chemical recycling. And I have to be very clear with you, chemical recycling is an old technique, but so far we had not the economics to justify the chemical plant and to build chemical plant. And of course, polyester and polyamide are easier to be recycled in a chemical way because they are polyester, fundamentally. But for polyolefin, which are the biggest part of the packaging, or for polystyrene, mainly for polyolefins, the chemical recycling is much more difficult and much more expensive. So the industry is working a lot. I have not here all the project and so on, to have the technology in order to have the chemical recycling. But it's not ready yet. By industrial point of view, we are late. So we think that energy recovery is very important. And last but not least, we have to say the reality. The key point, the starting point of the circular economy, of the zero landfill and so on, is the collection. And to have the collection, we need the help of the consumer, of our citizens. And so we have to start or to continue the educational programs. And on this matter, we hope, we wish to build a cooperation with our institution in order to have this educational program starting from the elementary school. Otherwise, no effort will be enough to achieve the circular economy. Thank you.